So if you guys want to know how to build a very cool looking and very simple villager trading hall like the one I have right here, that will get you amazing prices on your trades because of the curing the zombie villager here in the middle over and over again, make sure you guys stay tuned to the very end of the video to see how we build up this very simple villager trading hall. So hello everybody, welcome back to another video. As you guys could tell by that quick little intro right there, in today's video we're going to be building ourselves up a villager trading hall like the one I have right here. So this villager trading hall works by getting yourselves a villager from, let's say, a villager breeder, sending them through on the minecart, and they will go along here, and then they will go ahead and end up in their little tubes right there. Then what you can do is open the trapdoor that will go and drop them through. Then you're going to place down something like a lectern, and you can trade with them and get the best of the best trades. And again, if you don't like their trade, you can just break this and keep on changing it over and over again until you get the absolute best trade. Not just that, you can also get super cheap prices for all of these trades. All you have to do is take this zombie villager in the middle, cure him with a golden apple and a splash potion of weakness, and then that will make all of these guys reduce their prices to some pretty insane prices. I have seen mending books and sharpness 5 books for 1 emerald at times. Alright, so the first step you're going to want to do is make sure that you are far away from any kind of village, at least 100 blocks or so, 150 blocks. As you can see, I am nowhere near a village, so that works out. Alright, so for the first step, what you're going to want to do is make sure you're at least 100 blocks or so away from any near village or a group of villagers or anything like that. That way they don't get linked up into that village or whatever. And the first thing we're going to do is grab ourselves our solid blocks, and we are going to build 17 blocks in one direction. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Then what we're going to do is grab ourselves our pressure plates, stone pressure plates, and we're going to place them on every other one. And we're going to start on the second block, not that one, but this one right here. And we're just going to alternate every single other one, just like so. And so after that, you should have a total of 8 other pressure plates. And then what we're going to do is, wherever you want the back side of your little villager breeder to be, we're going to grab ourselves some pistons. And we're just going to place these pistons all facing the same direction. Just like so, just on the side, not like that, on the side in every single one of these pistons. And then once we do that, we're going to grab our redstone torches and place a redstone torch on the back of every single one of those pistons. And now what we're going to do is build ourselves a little L-shaped looking piece on the top of all of these. So we're just pretty much going to make a little right angle, I guess you can say corner, that's going to look something just like that. And we have to do this on every single one of these pistons in these redstone torches that we just put up. So it's going to look something just like so. Then what we're going to do is grab our solid blocks once again. We're going to place a solid block in front of every single one of these little pressure plates, and then we're going to place a piece of glass on the top of every single one of those pressure plates, just like so. And then we're going to place a half slab on every single one of those glass blocks, and then to top that off, we're going to place ourselves just one block on top of those half slabs, so there's going to be a little gap in between, just like so. Then what we're going to do is flip around to the back side right here, and we're just going to place redstone dust on the top of all these blocks on the back right above these torches, and so all of these should light up, as you can see. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to come to right here, and we're just going to connect these all together, just like so. Connect up all of these blocks just like that. Then what we're going to do is grab ourselves some activator rails. Okay, I'm going to place these on all of these places where these redstone dust pieces are at. So right on the side of it, as you see, all of them are sure to turn on. We're just going to place an activator rail on every single one of these, and then we're going to fill that all in with some powered rails, just like so. And then in order to power all of these powered rails, what we're going to do is we're going to place a redstone torch on the face of all of these little corner blocks. We're just going to place one right there, place one right there, right there, right, oops, not right there, not right there, right there, right there. And as you guys will see when we go up to the top, this will go ahead and power all of our powered rails, just like so. Then what we're going to need to do is grab ourselves some trap doors, and we need to place these trap doors along all of these blocks right here. So as you can see, I flipped around to the back side right here, and we need to place these on the bottom half of this block, because when we flip them upwards, we need them to flip up onto that block. So we're just going to place these all through and flip them up onto that block, just like so. As you can see, all of them on all these places being flipped up and on the bottom, just like so. Then what we're going to do is just some filling in. We're just going to go ahead and fill in this middle section of the blocks up to there, and we're going to fill in this right here with blocks. So we're just going to do this for every single one of these little chambers where all of our villagers are going to be sitting, as you guys can see. Just going to fill this up right here as well, and all right here. and go ahead and make sure you do these for every single one of these little things. And you can even make sure you do it on the end as well, and just make sure that there are no blocks back here in front of the pistons. And now what we need to do is grab ourselves some water buckets, because we're going to place these water buckets on top of all of these pressure plates. And the reason why we do this is because if villagers are standing in water, they will actually not lose their trade, and they will not unlink from their little trading station. So all of these need to be filled with water, and then we have to flick all of these trap doors down. So we're going to fill that all up with water and make sure that they are all flicked down just like so. Fill it all up with water just like so. Then all we're going to do is grab our blocks, and we're going to place a block on every single one of these little middle sections between the trap doors. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place a piece of glass right here above all of the activator rails, and actually all of the rails. We're going to go and put a nice line of glass along them all, just like so. Then what we need to do is come out to the back, and we're just going to place ourselves some solid blocks where these activator rails are at. So as you can see, all lining up with where these activator rails are sitting. We're just going to go ahead and go through and place ourselves some solid blocks along it. So it's going to look something just like so. As you guys can see, right above where the redstone is, right where the activator rail is, just one solid block. And then what we're going to do is grab our glass once again. We're going to place a piece of glass on every single one of these little pillars that we built up, just like so. Then we're going to place two pieces of glass out the front side of it, just like this, on every single one of these. This is just making the tube to help them all fall into there. And then we're going to place one piece of glass on the tops of all of this redstone. If you're wondering why we have all this glass, is because in the last update, the last little hot fix that they put in, they mess with how the villagers get out of minecarts. And so now they find like the nearest solid block, but they do it differently, which is the reason why all of these trapdoors have to be flicked down, and all of this glass has to be in this exact position. Because as you will see, when we have a minecart with a villager come through here, they will actually pathfind or whatever to the nearest solid block, which of course is going to be the trapdoor because it is flicked down. So when we send them through, as you see, it'll be stuck right there, and then all you would have to do is come down here, flip this trapdoor, and it will close by itself. And then let's say you don't have the trapdoor down. What will happen is when you put the villager on here and you send them through the system, they'll be shot out just right there, and they'll sit right there if that trapdoor is not flicked in the downwards position. But anyways, you're gonna need yourself a whole bunch of villagers. Now make sure it's at least 100 blocks or so away. I don't know the exact number, but it's around 100 blocks. Make sure that they are away. You can use a villager breeder. I have tutorials on that on my channel. And so alright, we have this trapdoor flicked down, so now we're gonna send a villager in through our system, just like so. And we'll get him in this chamber. We're gonna flick this down, get him in here just like that. And now what we need to do is we actually need to link this guy up to a bed. So all we have to do is put a bed right here, and he should link up to it if we give him a second, and that will turn this into a whole entire village. So as you can see, it linked up to the bed just like so. Now keep in mind, this is the only guy you actually have to do this for. I'm actually going to put the bed a block more back, just like so. Yeah, I'm going to put it one more block back, so that way we can make a complete square of this. And as you can see, he will link to it. And then now what we can do is grab ourselves something like a lectern. It can be anything that you want to, by the way, but I like lecterns because that creates the librarians. And if you didn't know, librarians are the ones that trade you the OP enchantment books. As you see now, he's a librarian. And so yeah, and by the way, when you are filling this place up, make sure you do one villager and one lectern at a time. If you place in all of your workstations and all of your lecterns, it will break if you do that all before you put in the villagers. And if you put in a whole bunch of villagers before you put in all your lecterns, it will not work as well. So make sure you do one villager in one workstation. But alright, that is this half of the module built up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build one here, here, and here, so that we have a complete square, and then we can put our zombie and our villager in the center. That will help us get the good trade. So I'll just show you what we're going to do. We're going to start on this block right here on this corner. So we're just going to build 17 across once again, but from right here. So it's be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And then we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to grab ourselves our pressure plates once again. Grab our pressure plates once again. We're going to skip the first one, and we're just going to place exactly 8 of these in, skipping every other block. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Like I was saying, as you can see, this will work out perfectly because we'll have ourselves a villager that's going to be sitting right here in this corner, and one that's going to be sitting in that corner, so that we get the maximum amount of space usage. So yeah, now I'm just going to go ahead and build up the same exact thing that I built right here. I'll run you guys through it just one time really fast, just so you can see in case you missed anything at all. So we have the pistons on all of these pressure plates. It doesn't matter which way the pistons are facing, just make sure they are all facing the same direction. Then we're going to go ahead and throw all of our redstone torches on the faces of all these. And then you remember we're going to build ourselves a whole bunch of L shapes on the top of these things as well. And then we're going to go ahead and place our redstone dust along the backs of all of these. Then we can go ahead and place our blocks out the front of every single one of these pressure plates, and then a piece of glass on top of that. And then if you remember, we're going to place a half slab on the tops of all of these pieces of glass, a half slab just like this. And if you remember, we're going to place a block on top of all of those half slabs as well. And then I'm just going to fill in our little containers so that we have ourselves a whole bunch of little chambers just like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect up all of these back blocks together. And what we're actually going to do too, we're going to connect this with this line right here, so that way it will go around the whole entire place and will all link up together all nicely. We're going to place a little rail block here on the corner, some powered rails right here, right before we get to all of these blocks, which we'll then again place all of our activated rails. And if you remember, we're going to place a whole bunch of powered rails in between every single one of these, just like so. And then again, we're going to place a redstone torch just on the back here, just to power this corner. And we're going to place one right there to power that corner. And then again, in between all of these blocks right here, we're going to place a redstone torch. And this is solely just so that this block up here gets powered. We're going to fill up all of these holes right here with a bucket of water, making sure that it's on the pressure plate so that it does not flow anywhere at all, just like so. And then we're going to grab ourselves our trap doors and make sure that we place these on the bottom, and then we can go ahead and we can actually flick them down for the time being, since we already have our water in there. Just make sure that they are placed on the bottom of the block, so that way they will flip up to there. Then we're going to place in our blocks along here, all of these solid blocks to just help them get into their containers like that. Then we're going to place some glass blocks right above all of these rails that we just placed in, just like so. We don't need them on the corner here because it doesn't matter, but we do need them all the way up to here. Then we're going to throw a solid block around the backs of all of these, again only where these activator rails are at, just like so. Then we're going to place a glass block along the top of all these little pillars that we started to build up, just like this. And we're going to place 2 glass blocks along the front side right here, just to make sure that they all fall into their chambers correctly. Then once we do that, we're going to come around the back, place 1 glass block on the tops of all of these redstone, again just to make sure that they all go into their chambers and they don't get shot out to here. And that is literally all we have to do, so that now these 2 things are exactly identical. And then what we can do is build our side along here and build one side along there. And again, I'll just show you. We're going to start right here on this first block right here, and then build out 17, so that way the first platform is right here. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and I'll be back with you guys once I finish making this side and this side. You should be able to copy that very easily, or you can just stop it here if that is enough villagers. But if you want to copy exactly what I'm doing, you can just build this corner over here. It's very simple. Just follow the same exact thing that we already did twice. Alright guys, so I did exactly that. I went ahead and built this all the way around, so it looks just like this. And as you can see, it's all synced up and they all look exactly the same as one another, which is very nice. All the rails on top and everything like that. I'm just going to show you guys a quick little thing, because what will happen is when you send these minecarts around this whole entire place, I'll show you guys that it works real fast. When you send these around, obviously they're flaking because that's the activator rails, but then they'll just start piling up right here, right? They're just going to start piling up. So I'm going to quickly just show you how to make a little minecart system that'll just put them in a chest for you. So all we're going to do out this end, we're just going to come out right here. We're going to come out just 1, 2, 3 blocks just like that, about so. It doesn't have to be exact. We're just going to make a nice little turn through here, right here, right here, right here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves our chest, which is right here. We're going to place this chest just right here, a double chest, just like so. We're going to run a hopper into the back of that chest right there. Then what we're going to do is grab our solid blocks once again. We're going to go ahead and just build like this, because we have to build 1 block underneath the chest right there. Because what we have to do is put a piece of sand, put a cactus on top of that. Then now all we're going to do is surround this in a little bit of glass, not on the sides, not like what I did. So now you know not what to do. But what you can do is you can put a piece of glass on the top of the block, just like that. And then we put just a little bit of glass right here, and then just like 2 pieces of glass or so right here, just like so. And now what happens when you have the minecart on here, as you guys will see, it'll come around here, it'll get broken by that piece right there, by that cactus, and it'll actually just end up in the hopper, which will then end up in the chest. As you can see, it gets broken, and boom, it's in your chest. So just a quick little collection system that I think is very neat. And so then now what we're going to do is we're going to come to the very center of this, which is about 7 blocks away from each side. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 7 blocks away from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 blocks there and there. Whatever, you get the point. So we are in the dead center, just like that. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to break out a couple of blocks around it. So we're just going to have a nice little thing like that. Doesn't matter which direction you do it, it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and throw some solid blocks in here, just like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what we're going to do is go ahead and surround this into some half slabs, just like this, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting ourselves a zombie and a villager in here. So also we're just going to add a nice little roof on it, just like this. You can go ahead and make it out of whatever you want to. That way that the zombie can be under here, they won't burn in the daylight, but then also the villager can be under here as well. You can add a couple little extra blocks if you want to. It's not needed, or you can use slabs. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so all we have to do now is lure a zombie into this container right here. I went ahead and made myself a quick little entrance just underneath, just a simple little thing. If I was you, what I would do is I would get a villager in here, which shouldn't be very hard since you can just have them go into these chambers. You can break them out and push them in there, whatever. They're not too crazy to fight with. But I would just put a villager in here. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be even a green coat. I don't like the way the green coats look, so we just have this guy right here. Anyways. Oh yeah, in case you guys are wondering, green coats cannot actually get trades, so you can't have any green coats in the system because they cannot get a job. Most people already know that, but a couple people don't. So what I would do again is I'd get the zombie, I'd lure them into here, and make sure you have the villager in here first, because then they will actually be attracted to the villager, which makes it really simple. So then you can just, you can just break this out. They will go in there. You can change that up and link that up, and then now this guy will kill him, and that's perfectly fine because that's what's supposed to happen. So you can let him kill him real fast. And now all we need to do is we need to put name tags on these two guys so they don't despawn. So I have these completely random names I just made up. Oh, nah, that's crazy. That's funny, like the video. Anyways, we have these completely 2 random names that we made up. And then now what will happen is every time we cure this guy right here, all the villagers in here will receive like a trade bonus. They will all reduce their prices and make everything super cheap. And so now in order to show you guys those reduced prices, I'm going to go ahead and fill up the system just a little bit more with some villagers and whatnot. Making sure that I only do, again, just one villager at a time, because if I do a whole bunch, it'll break. So one villager at a time, give him his job, make sure he gets assigned to his job, and then now we can go grab another villager. And in case you're wondering, if you have a trade that you don't like let's look at this guy if it'll let us. So let's say he's got looting trade, which is garbage. All you would have to do, break the lectern so he loses his job, place the lectern back down, he will get linked up to his job. See, now that's why you gotta do one at a time and make sure, because now it's already messing up. So that's okay, we can still fix this. We can just drop this guy down into here, and we can just go ahead and do this and this. And now that guy's got his job, and this guy's got his job. As you can see, it messes up if you do more than one villager, just that one. But as you can see, now he changes his trade. So we can do it again and again and again. That was a bookshelf last time, and now the trade is still a bookshelf. Just keep doing it. It takes a while to get good trades, but eventually you will. Just give them some time. Sometimes they don't like to switch them. They like to be stubborn. They like to be very stubborn sometimes, as you can see. But as you can see, it just changed right there. Now we have impaling too. Still not good. So I'm just going to keep doing this over and over again. Don't do that because you're going to break it. But yeah, you can just do this over and over again until you get the good trade that you want. And in order to lock it in, all you would have to do is trade with them one time. So let's say I just traded 24 paper with him, and then he will never change his trades ever again. So you can trade with him one time, get that book, put the sign up here, and he will forever have that trade. No matter if you break this or do whatever you want, you will always have that trade. But all right, now you guys can see it's like 9 emeralds for that, and it's 9, the same one, 23 for that. And this one is 9. Okay, they're all fairly similar. But now you'll see when we go ahead and cure this zombie village right here by throwing a splash potion of weakness on him and feeding him a golden apple by just using left trigger. As you see, he's going to shake. He's going to make a noise for a little while, but that's okay. That's perfect. And then as soon as he's cured, all the guys in this whole entire place will then reduce their prices. So just go ahead and give him a minute, and his prices will all be reduced. And so as you can see, the guy just changed. He's going to get killed again, but that's perfectly fine. He'll die again, which is, that's great. That's fine. But he already got cured once, and so that all these guys will notice that. As you can see, they dropped their prices only by a little bit. So now it's 8 emeralds for that. And so 8 for that. And this one was like 25, was it? Yep. And now instead of 23, it's now 18. And so yeah, as you can see, all the guys all dropped their prices by some. This is really helpful too for when you get like these big trades, like a mending book or something like that. You can get these books for like 1 emerald at times. And so again, that is the functionality of this farm all done. It all is working. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go ahead and spruce it up a little bit, make it look really nice, just so you guys can get an idea on how you can make this look nicer than just some grass on the ground. And alright, so I went ahead and just made the place a little bit nicer. It's not going to win any awards or anything by that means, but it looks kind of nice. I threw in some lights around the place as well, just to make sure no mobs can spawn in here, because if a zombie were to spawn in here, that would not end very well. And I also threw some iron doors down here in case zombies try and walk in, just so that they can't break those down, because they can break down wooden doors, but not iron. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for the video on how to build a villager trading hall that will get you really good prices with those guys in the middle. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful. I hope for those of you that came here for a fix that you found that it works so well. But anyways, like I always say, thank you guys for watching another video. If you have any questions, like always, I'll be down in the comment section down below. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.
Clap your hands if you believe.